looking for. But, again, they always said, when you sign a national letter, you're signing with that school. You're not signing with the coach. And we all understand, that's usually not the case. It's because of coaches, in a lot of reasons. But, because what will happen is, if that goes into effect, what will happen is the Power 5 schools most likely, and other schools will too, they'll create a college department where they'll just watch film of all the other colleges and see if there's guys that they like. Then they'll go backdoor through a high school coach or through somebody to say, hey, we'd like to have him at our institution. And word would get back, and now that kid would want to go and transfer. The thing that gets me and upsets me a little bit is when I hear people say that, coaches can leave whenever they want to. Well, yeah, they can, but they have contractual obligations that they have to adhere to if they do leave one school and go to another. They have to pay a buyout, or somebody has to pay a buyout. So, but the kids, they sign a contract with the NCAA where they're getting their scholarship for free. And, so if they just want to up and transfer and there's no penalty to sit out a year, what good is the national letter of intent? What good is the agreement? So, the problem with the NCAA, they get scared anytime somebody says sue. That's the problem. And everybody in this society, I think, does. But, what you have to do is then sign them to a 4-year contract. And if they break it, then they got to sit out. You decided to go to that school. Now all of a sudden, if things don't go the way you want it to, you want to leave. But, well, if you do, then there should be a penalty, just like a coach is. If he has a contract and, he has that to, he's obligated to uphold.
Randy, how often does a player you bring in become exactly the player and person you envisioned he'd be capable of becoming, say, 3 or 4 years down the road in the program? They obviously come in with a lot to learn and a lot to prove, but I know you get to know as much as you possibly can about them in a short period of time. It's kind of an interesting journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I would hope that all of the guys, and it doesn't always work out that way, but I would hope that all the guys aren't going to be what they are when we recruit them. They're going to be that much better, because there's.
How much do they fulfill the potential you see for them? Well, is there?
I think a lot of them do. There's a bigger percentage of them that do, at least in my time of doing this. But I think that's part of, the evaluation process. When you evaluate these kids, some of these kids that are the finished product that aren't going to get any better, might not be what you're looking for. Or somebody that might be a prima donna might not be what you're looking for that would fulfill what you thought. And so what we try to do is take a look at the young man and what we see on game tape, not highlights, but on game tape, to see, the potential growth and development, in that young man. And then also, when you talk about to the coach and the high school coach and, the work ethic that's involved. Because a kid isn't going to get any better if he's not willing to work. If a kid's not, a guy that's a worker, even though you might see some things, you might not recruit him because he doesn't have that work ethic that it's going to take to achieve the ability that you see, on tape. Anybody else? Anything else?
This group, Randy, like this particular session, what were you trying to gain from this second group to supplement the other one, and did it turn out the way you expected?
Yeah, it really did. We had targeted certain positions, and then we had the guys, the guys that we went after were guys that we wanted. We felt that these young men could make us better. So I thought that was the other good thing about the early signing period, that you had that done. So now you could really just go and focus, your attention on what you needed to fulfill yet and who you needed to go after. And having that, you know, all that in line to be able to do that. So I think that was the thing, and, you know, technically, you know, there's, you know, if there's a grad transfer, you know, at certain positions, you know, I would still entertain that, and some of that, you know, is a possibility, and it's, you know, I've heard from a couple already today.
Really?
You know, but again, the issue that we have, which is unlike some other places, is we do have, you know, and I'm not complaining when I say this, so please don't write it like I am, but because this is a great institution and what they've done here at UConn, but some of the guys that we might want to be able to get into school here, we're not able to because of the quality of the school that UConn has become, which I think is good. So, but there are, you know, some opportunities still there, you know, for us, because then you have them for 1 or maybe 2 years, and then, you know, that scholarship frees up, because next year we're not going to have a lot of seniors, you know. So again, this is all part of it, Bob, in terms of, as you project, you know, now, is there somebody that can really help us for next year? If not, then you just bank it and get those added to your numbers for 2019.
How many could you add? 2? 1?
Huh?
How many could you, what's the most you could add if you really wanted to? 3?
3. Yeah, because one of the things that, you know, because of where we were, but you still only have, it's almost like the salary cap of some of this stuff. Because what we were able to do by bringing those 3 young men in, Shamel, Noel, and Malik, we can count them ahead to like 18, 19. Okay? So in terms of our annual, with the annual initial limits, you know, in terms of what we could do, you know, but again, that's all part of, you know, looking in what you can do and what you can't do. So, but again, I don't know if we would. It only would be if it made sense, you know, for us, you know, to be able to do that.
How do you like what your current players have been doing since the end of the season till now? Just their commitment, whatever, you know, how you judge them.
Working out, they're allowed 8 hours per week, no more than 2 hours per day, and they've just been working with the strength and conditioning folks.
So you like the reports you're getting about them and everything?
Yeah, I mean, we were able to finally get off the road and kind of be involved last on Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday of them doing their conditioning stuff, and the attitude is a lot different. It's a lot different. You know, about 180 degrees different. You know, and you know, I really like what I'm seeing and what's happening and everything else. And you know, those kids did a good job too of you know, hosting these young men, because you know, you get this quality of people